Well, good morning from Kintec Footwear and Orthotics on Reynolds Street in Oakville, and we are going to be taking care of one of the most important parts of the body, would you say, Maggie, the feet?
Absolutely. The feet are the foundation for the body, and they're a big part in keeping us active.
And May was it Footwear Month, or can you explain that?
Foot Health Awareness Month.
Okay.
Yeah, so just really promoting taking care of your feet so that you're able to continue the activities that you love to do.
And how do you help people do that here?
Yeah, so we here at Kintec are a wellness-based company, and how we like to sort of go about foot health is through what we call a one-to-one appointment. That's a free appointment that people can walk in or book for online. We take you through a little bit of a foot scan. It's a structural scan that gives us several different parameters of your feet.
Wow.
We do a gait analysis as well, so we watch how you're walking, so it sort of discerns function versus structure. And then based on what we've observed, we help you select footwear and other medical devices that might be beneficial to keeping you active on your feet for life.
And what clientele would be good for this? Like who would want to come here? Anybody, or would it be more senior citizens?
Anybody who wants to stay active and on their feet. We get a lot of people who come in here for pain prevention purposes, so that they continue doing what they love, and we get a lot of people coming in here as a response to their pain or any issues that they've been having, sort of looking for a more passive way to address their issues more so through footwear and orthotics rather than, exercises and things like that.
So would this be mostly for walking, or would it be for running, athletics, any kind of lifestyle?
Yeah, walking, running, if you're doing classes in a gym, if you're even just wanting a new pair of daily footwear. We've got all of that here and can help you with that.
Okay, so what are we going to be doing today? You're going to take me through some things coming up a little later on Morning Live. Are you putting me on a treadmill or something?
Absolutely, if you're okay with it.
All right, I have heels on, so I think I might have to change.
You'll go barefoot.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to see your natural mechanics.
Interesting, and maybe I'll ask you a few questions about high heels and if they're really good for you or not.
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll be back at Kintec Footwear and Orthotics in Oakville. We're speaking to Maggie. Lots more to come. Well, good morning. We're hanging out at Kintec Footwear and Orthotics in Oakville, right on Reynolds Street. And Maggie here has me on some sort of machine. I have no idea what's about to happen, but I'm sure it's going to benefit me, right, Maggie?
Absolutely. So this is our Fit Scan machine. It's part of our one-to-one service. What we use this for is to get a good idea of the structure of your foot. This machine measures your foot using cameras and has several different parameters that it identifies. So it gives us a little bit more than just your length and your width. It gives us your instep, your forefoot volume, things like that, as well as a pressure distribution. So we can really see, how you are positioned and how that pressure is distributed on your feet. Absolutely, they are.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this all is to help you pick the right footwear?
It helps us discern what footwear are going to fit you best, and potentially any areas of concern that we might need to adjust to help keep you on your feet. So this is what your feet look like. You can see your feet are nice and straight, and you have a little bit of a narrower heel. So right off the bat, I want to make sure whatever shoe I'm selecting is going to have a firm heel just to keep your foot in place. We can identify the length of each of your feet. You can see that your right's a little bit longer, which is very normal.
Okay.
There's no worries there. 2 feet are not the same. And then we can identify your width as well. So again, your right being a little bit wider than your left.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed a lot of times when you go in and you're shoe shopping. Some people have wider feet than others, and then it's really hard to find a shoe that fits. So it's not that simple, is it, Maggie?
It's not, and it can be really overwhelming when you're in a shoe store and you're looking at like 30 different pairs of shoes.
Right.
And also we consider your arch height. So you can see you have a little bit of a higher arch profile, which means we want to be putting more cushion underneath your foot. Different arch profiles can just predispose you to different degrees of risk of different conditions, so it's just something that we like to consider. And then you'll see here we have your pressure distribution. So I love the pressure in your heels. It's nice and centered.
Okay.
But you'll see as we move farther up, you have a lot of weight in your pinky toes. right? Which aren't very big, they're not very strong. So we really just want to move that pressure more into your first and second toe, try and engage those arches a little bit more and promote some more shock absorption so you stay nice and comfortable.
Would that be done with an insert?
It can be done with an insert. It can also be done through different footwear features.
Wow.
So you have to have a good idea of the structure of the shoe before making a good selection.
Is this all free?
Absolutely it is.
And you said you make an appointment for this?
Yeah, ideally you make an appointment. You can also walk in. For an appointment, it's really just reserving that professional to spend that extra time with you and walk through all of our steps. But we try and do that with everyone who comes in here.
Remember, walk through all the steps, right? Walking, yeah, that's what it's all about. We'll be back, a lot more to come here. Kintec Footwear and Orthotics in Oakville. Come check them out. Good morning. Come take a little walk with me. It's always nice to walk first thing in the morning, and walking is very important. And what's very important are the feet that you're doing it with. We're at Kintec Footwear and Orthotics in Oakville, and I'm on a treadmill now. Maggie, I have a lot going on. So Luke, he's got the camera for you guys, Morning Live. Maggie is filming me on an iPad, and I am told I have to increase my speed because they're trying to figure out my feet. Yeah.
Only do whatever's natural.
Okay, I'll get Maggie, the expert, to explain that and make it sound a little bit more scientific, but I'm just doing what I'm told.
Amazing.
And it's not just about buying shoes, it's about buying the right shoes, the right orthotics, and taking good care of your feet, because again, they're a very important part of your body. Do I need to go faster?
You're good to actually stop the treadmill now.
Okay.
I've captured a little video of you here.
Okay.
Awesome. So we like to also see how you're moving, how your feet are interacting with other structures of your body. And that can give us some cues as to what footwear to select for you. So when I look at your feet here, I like to kind of watch how you are striking the ground.
Okay.
Right? So we want a nice lateral initial contact. And then I like to see how your foot posture is when you are fully weight bearing on one leg. So ideally, we'll see a nice straight line through your knee, through your ankle, into the ground. That looks lovely. That tells me that you don't have any kind of overpronation. We'll obviously check the other foot as well, make sure that it's functioning, and you can see we've got a little bit more of an angle on this side. So what we would want to do is we'd want to correct that angle with footwear, orthotics, perhaps other medical devices, just to keep you functioning and on your feet smoothly for as long as you can.
So are you saying that my right leg, I'm going in, walking in too much on an angle?
It turns in a little bit there.
Oh.
So that ideally would be supported through perhaps a foot orthotic or a shoe.
Okay, so when somebody comes in, you had me on a machine earlier, you would do this, you would talk to them as well, ask some questions about, I don't know, are they in pain or certain things like that?
Absolutely. I want to know what issues they're having, any concerns they're having, what their activities are, because we need to make sure that that shoe is going to match their lifestyle, that they're going to be able to actually use it when they leave the store.
Right, so with all the shoes you have, would you just cover all of those areas, or would it be a matter of getting the shoe that's close enough to help that person and then an insert? Is that how it would work?
It might work that way. Listening to your medical history and your concerns give me an idea of, how much needs to be changed. So sometimes people do need an orthotic and new footwear. They work hand in hand, really. So They enhance each other's features. Other times people do well with just a shoe. Sometimes they come in wearing the perfect shoe, but maybe they just need an orthotic to kind of enhance their needs there.
Okay, well, come on down, because Maggie and the gang, they're going to take care of you here at Kintec. We'll have a few more things coming up. A lot of lessons learned today, and I think I'm going to be very concerned about my walking. Should I be concerned about my right leg?
I don't think so.
I'm okay?
I think you're okay.
Okay, with the right pair of shoes. Well, good morning. Looks like I've found, should I say, the perfect footwear, Maggie? I don't know. Close to perfect. We're at Kintec Footwear and Orthotics in Oakville, and it's not just about buying a shoe that looks good. The most important thing is it feels good and it's right for you.
Yes, absolutely. I always tell people there's no such thing as the perfect shoe. There are just ideal features for different foot types. And then that's where you kind of come in and you let me know what cushion feel you like under your foot. My job is to kind of identify those features that are going to suit you best.
And speaking of the cushion, I was looking at the sole thinking, wow, that's really thick. How can that be comfortable?
Yeah.
So how?
So a lot of brands have been increasing, it's called the midsole, that thickness, and that just tells you how much cushion is in the shoe. Okay. So the more cushion in the shoe, the more shock absorption you're going to get, the more pressure can be distributed within the shoe before going into your own bodily structures, so it can just keep you on your feet for a little bit longer without fatiguing.
And that's why there's holes in it?
That's just this brand, so they like to have these holes in here so that the shoe can compress and decompress in multiple directions. So as you're moving, the shoe's going to kind of move with you, no matter what your mechanics
I feel it. I know. I was just thinking how comfortable these are and light. I mean, to look at them, they look heavy, but they're really light.
Yeah, that whole midsole that's taking up a big chunk of the shoe, it's really just foam, so it keeps it nice and light. The heaviness comes from the outsole here, that rubber. Now, even if it was heavy, this shoe turns up at the toe a little bit there, and that's called a forefoot rocker. So what that does is when you go to push off your toes, it actually assists you in that movement, again, so that you're not fatiguing so quickly.
Now, would these shoes be good for running and walking, or do you find just certain shoes just a walking shoe, a running shoe? How does that work?
I think these would be excellent for running or walking. As long as you're on the move, then that cushion's going to be able to behave in the way that we want it to.
How long does this process take, Maggie? Now, I know you said it's free. Somebody can make an appointment, walk in. You had me on a machine earlier. You evaluated my feet, which was really cool. Had me on a treadmill. You filmed me walking. So how long would this process take to find the ultimate shoe?
Great question. We usually book people in for about a half an hour, but it doesn't necessarily end there. I know that you don't have too many concerns about your foot health today, but if you did, that's when we would start exploring other additions. So perhaps integrating an orthotic into this shoe, maybe a different medical device that we have up there, such as compression. But the process really doesn't end at the end of that appointment. We want you to leave the store and be able to navigate your foot health on your own. When it comes to orthotics as well, we will follow up with you. We want to make sure they're being used and that they're functional for you and kind of able to be implemented in your everyday life.
How many days a week are you open?
We're open 5 days a week, Tuesdays to Saturdays.
Okay, and then people can, on your website, make an appointment. Is that how it all works?
Absolutely. You can book at kintec.net. You can also give us a call here at Kintec Oakville or our customer service line as well.
Okay, and before we wrap things up, just one quick question. I talked about the fact that I wear high heels.
Yes.
You analyzed my feet. And you told Luke and I, we didn't get it on camera, and I want to just get it on camera here. What did you say about the high heels that I wear?
I don't mind them for you as long as they're worn for a reasonable amount of time and you're not having pain.
Okay.
So you have a higher arch and you put a lot of pressure on the outsides of your feet. So if we elevate your heel, we shift your pressure more into your big toe and we engage your arches, and that's where we're going to get good shock absorption.
Okay, so we're not telling you to wear high heels, but I'm just, I don't know, maybe trying to give myself a little. It's okay, Shelly, but you know what? I promise I'll just do it when I'm working for CHCH. Okay,
Time and
I
place.
promise. In the studio
Absolutely.
and on remotes. Okay, well, thank you so much, Maggie. Thanks to the gang here at Kintec Footwear and Orthotics. You can find them on Reynolds Street in Oakville. Check them out.